Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be discussing the number line and negative values and doing arithmetic with negative numbers. Let's begin. To get a concept of negative values, we look at the number line where we draw 0. Anything to the right of 0 we identify as positive, 1, 2, and so on. And anything to the left of 0 we identify as minus, minus 1, minus 2, and so on. For example, if we draw the number line and we're asked to identify minus 3, that would be just 3 units to the left, minus 1, minus 2, and minus 3. If we're asked to identify, for example, minus 10, that is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and minus 10 is going to be further to the left than minus 3 was, minus 10. If we're asked, for example, to draw and label the following on the number line, so for example, minus 6 is 6 units to the left of 0, right here. Minus 5 is 1 left of minus 4, right here. Minus 5. 1 is 1 unit to the right of 0, here. And plus 8 is 8 units to the right of 0. So 7, 8 right here. Let us look at the following rules. Number 1, a plus negative b is simply a minus b. Number 2, negative a plus b is simply b minus a. Number 3, negative a plus negative b is simply minus a minus b. Or we can factor out the negative sign and just say a plus b. Negative a minus b is simply minus a plus b. And negative a minus negative b can be rewritten as negative a plus b. And negative a is simply plus a. When we have two negative signs as follows, this can be thought of as minus 1 multiplied by minus a, which is simply plus a. Two negatives multiplied with each other produce a positive. 3 negatives multiplied with each other produce a negative. So we can think of when there's an even number of minus signs, this produces a plus. When there's an odd number of minus signs, this produces a minus. So in the example above, minus 1 times minus 1 is plus 1 because there are two negative signs. However, when there's 3 negative signs, minus 1 times minus 1 times minus 1, this will produce negative 1. Keep that in mind. Let us look at some problems. 7 plus negative 3 can be written as 7 minus 3, which is just 4. 5 minus negative 1 could be rewritten as 5 plus 1, which is 6. Minus 4 plus negative 3 can be rewritten as minus 4 plus 3, which is minus 7. Minus 1 minus minus 1 could be rewritten as minus 1 plus 1, which is 0. 1 plus negative 8 can be rewritten as 1 minus 8, which is minus 7. Minus 2 minus 5 could be rewritten as minus 2 plus 5, which is minus 7. Let us look at number 7 now. Minus 5 plus 3 is minus 2. Minus 6 is 6. Minus 1 minus 8 can be written as minus 1 plus 8, which is 7. Minus 3 minus 7 can be written as minus 3 plus 7, which is 4. Let us turn now to multiplying and dividing with negative numbers. Number 1, a times minus b can be thought of as minus a times b, which is simply minus ab. Number 2, minus a times minus b is minus a times minus b, which is just ab. A divided by minus b can be thought of as minus a over b. And minus a divided by minus b is just a over b. Again, for number 3, when you have a divided by negative b, you have one minus sign in the division, which produces a negative. In number 4, you have two negative signs in division, which produces a positive. Remember, when there's an even number of negative signs in multiplying or dividing, the result will be a positive. And when there's an odd number of negatives in multiplication and division, the result will be a negative. Let us look at some problems with negative numbers. 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. 6 divided by minus 3 can be written as 6 over minus 3, which is minus 2. Minus 3 times minus 5 is plus 15. Minus 6 divided by minus 3 can be written as minus 6 over minus 3, which is just 2. Minus 6 times minus 3 is positive 18. 7 times minus 3 is minus 21. Minus 5 plus minus 1 can be written as minus 5 minus 1, which is minus 6. Minus 5 minus minus 5 can be written as minus 5 plus 5, which is 0. Minus 30 divided by minus 5 can be written as minus 30 over minus 5, which is 6. And minus 0 plus 0 is simply 0. Sometimes a multiplication sign will be written with a dot, so minus 5 dot parentheses 5, but this is the same as minus 5 cross 5, which is the same as minus 5 with parentheses 5. So all these are acceptable forms, and the answer is simply minus 25. And similarly with division, if you have, in the case of number 12, minus 5 slash 5, which is the same as minus 5 with the division sign 5, which is the same as writing minus 5 over 5, which is just minus 1. Again, in both cases, the answers will be negative because there's only one negative sign. Let us look at some other problems. Minus 1 times minus 1 times 5 could be rewritten as minus 1 times minus 1 times 5, which is 1 times 5, which is just 5. 14. Minus 5 times 1 times negative 1 could be written as minus 5 times 1 times minus 1, which could be written as minus 5 times minus 1 times 1, which could be written as 5 times 1, which is just 5. For 15, minus 1 times minus 6 is 6. Minus 1 divided by minus 1 could be written as minus 1 over minus 1, which is just 1. And minus 1 divided by 1 could be written as minus 1 over 1, which is minus 1. 18, minus 1 times minus 1 times minus 1 could be written as 1 times minus 1, which is just minus 1. Minus 1 times minus 1 times minus 1 times minus 1 could be written as 1 times 1, which is just 1. And minus 1 divided by minus 1 divided by 1 could be written as minus 1 over minus 1 over 1, which is 1 over 1, which is 1. Let us review some concepts that we learned. If we draw the number line, and 0 is in the middle, and anything to the right is plus, and anything to the left is negative. So if we go to the right of 0, we have 1, 2 onwards. And if we go to the left of 0, we have minus 1, minus 2 onwards. And remember, a minus minus b is the same as a plus b. Example, 9 minus minus 5 is the same as 9 plus 5, which is just 14. Minus 1 times minus 1 is simply 1. Minus 1 times 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 divided by minus 1 is 1. And minus 1 divided by 1 is minus 1. So remember, when there's two minus signs in a multiplication or division, we'll get a plus sign. And when there's one minus sign in a multiplication or division, we'll get a minus sign. Thank you for watching my channel. Please click like, subscribe, comment below. Look forward to seeing you again.